In the beginning, there was first year design, which introduced you to the fundamental principles of visual language and graphic design practice. Second year situated your graphic design practice within a contemporary professional context. You collaborated with colleagues or other professionals and worked on design briefs that required solutions that converged across a variety of media platforms in 2, 3, and 4 dimensions. Throughout your degree, in both the core units and specializations, you have developed particular skills and interests that are beginning to define your graphic design practice and you as a designer. In this unit, you'll be offered the opportunities to specialize your design skills further and to develop your portfolio package with the sole purpose of increasing your chances of securing a creative position that you have always dreamt of. You will continue to refine and develop your visual language, your material and digital skills, and further develop as an independent learner. So welcome to Graphic Design, Developing a Personal Portfolio. So this brief presentation will give you an overview of the unit and introduce you to some of the assessment tasks that you'll be completing throughout the semester. As you can probably imagine from the name, the unit focuses on the development of your graphic design portfolio. Whilst this is an important tool for securing a position in the creative industries, it is not the only thing we will cover in the unit. We will be investigating best practice methods around searching for a job and looking at ways to maximize your chances of securing an all-important interview. We will look at ways for you to create your own opportunities, as industry feedback suggests that designers who wait for things to happen are generally left waiting. As you probably already know, this unit consists of 2 weekly touchpoints, the first being the online lecture series, and the second being the face-to-face tutorials. The lectures will be uploaded onto Views on Monday each week, and it is your responsibility to view the material prior to Tuesday's tutorial. I've developed the lectures to give you as much relevant real-life information as possible. I have visited and interviewed a handful of recent graduates who share stories of success and sometimes failure, and through their experiences, hopefully, you develop a strategy for the impending transition from student to creative professional.
I think it makes me more employable, definitely. As I was saying, front-end developers work very closely with designers, and when you're hiring a front-end developer, at least for me anyways, I looked for someone who had an understanding in design, because I know that they will be sitting next to a designer and working with the designer, working very closely with a designer and potentially an art director as well.
I have interspersed the student experience with that of a design recruiter who gives insights into the process of securing work in the industry, but from a human resources perspective.
You're looking for them to call you. You don't want them any other reason for them not to call you. You know, you want to be qualified on merit of work and experience.
This practical approach to job preparation will continue into the tutorial room, where we will engage with the careers office, doing practical workshops around cover letter writing and resume writing, as well as the all-important portfolio development. It is my ambition that at the end of this semester, each student will be ready to apply for either work experience, an internship, casual, part-time, or full-time work. There are 3 assessment tasks in this unit, with each of them designed to be entirely relevant to your near future employability. Assessment 1 is an industry reflection report and will relate directly to the online lecture content. This written report will force you to reflect on your career plans and how exactly you see yourself fitting into the design industry. The recent graduates who I have interviewed for this lecture series will hopefully inspire you to consider the boundless potential that a Western Sydney student has. Whether working in a design studio or as a freelance photographer or an entrepreneur, common themes resound, and these themes will form the basis of the report. The first lecture for you to respond to will be week 6, so we have ample time to discuss this more in class in week 5. In assessment 2, you'll be developing what I call a targeted design piece, where you identify a dream employer and produce a self-directed piece of work that speaks directly to that employer. The assessment will be rolled out in 2 parts, with part 1 being a 3-minute proof of concept presentation where in 5 slides you identify your dream employer, then show 2 examples of existing work that your dream employer has produced, show 1 example of existing work that aligns to your dream employer, and finally, a design rough for your targeted design piece. Part 2 of this assessment is the completed design prototype that you first introduced as a concept in your Part 1 proof of concept. In the reader, How to Create a Portfolio and Get Hired, emphasis is placed on the importance of your portfolio reflecting the needs of your chosen target. In this case, your dream employer. It talks about the importance of weeding out material that is not relevant to your career interests and replacing them with fresh work that is. So the key word here is relevance, and the work that you produce in this assessment must be relevant to your target. Assessment 3 focuses on creating a design portfolio package and is broken into 3 parts, with Part 1 being a professional cover letter, Part 2 being a resume, and Part 3 being a design portfolio. Your cover letter, resume, portfolio package is the ultimate tool in getting a job. It provides the potential employer a snapshot of your work history and skill sets, as well as your ability to assimilate stylistically and thematically into the creative position that you are applying for. These documents are organic, forever changing as needs require, and new work replaces old. As mentioned before, we will be holding focused tutorial workshops on how to best tackle your cover letter, resume, and portfolio, so we will discuss the specifics of this assessment in class. Upon completion of this assessment task, a selection of students will be invited to attend an industry portfolio evening. This will be a unique opportunity to have your portfolio critiqued by an industry professional, but due to constraints, spaces will be limited to the top 30 performing students. We will deal with the specifics of each assessment task in class, but if any of you have any questions that can't wait, don't hesitate to contact me by email. Most importantly, I look forward to seeing you for our first tutorial on Tuesday, the 15th of August.